Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I am Gideon Butler Smith, and I am a Bakerpedia influencer, and I'm here to share some baking wisdom with you today. Today, I'll be discussing some tips on how to engage employees and also where the talent is in the baking industry for the foreseeable future. I personally have about 4 years experience on the floor in the baking industry. And so, yes, that might not be a lot, but I have seen and gotten to know a lot of people on the floor. And so I just want to touch on that today. And that kind of leads me to where the talent is. I'll kind of start on the back end and then I'll go into employee engagement. The talent for the baking companies, the people who want to grow, the people who want to make money, the talent where they need to invest in is already there. It's already there. It's on the floor. Leadership academies, leadership, classes and courses always talks about your greatest asset is your people. And I just want to go ahead and double down on that and just really encourage all of the baking companies to listen and pay attention to where you're putting emphasis. The talent is at your mixer operators, at your machine operators, at even the guys and ladies throwing the hot pans onto the lines and bringing the racks out of the proofer and putting them on the oven and so on and so forth. Everywhere from the small mid-sized commercial bakeries all the way to the fully automatic bakeries that we know and love. And so where the talent is going to be important to understand when this boomer age is retiring. And so we've already seen a lot go into retirement, but it's going to just progress until we are left with a giant gap. And that gap needs to be filled. The gap of management, middle management, and even supervisors. We need to start investing into the operators, the mixers, the machine operators, et cetera, and start to really understand that they're not just there to make a paycheck. That might be what we think they are there for because we're portraying that onto them. And sometimes, yes, they act like that too. But I promise you that if you start to engage them, if you start to bring their potential out of them, they will start to bloom and blossom. Even asking them, "Hey, are you interested in a position in a next step position?" That doesn't have to be a giant pay increase. It doesn't have to be a pay increase at all, but just to put the employee in a position for more opportunities, it tells them that you value them. And I think that the baking industry specifically can really benefit from this because the age old saying of pull yourself up from your bootstraps and the boomers, just that age gap. I know it's kind of become a meme, boomers, but just that age gap has done a tremendous job bringing us thus far into the baking industry and bringing the technology to where we are. And the 40s and 30s year olds who are in the baking industry right now, they're taking that and bringing us into that next generation as well. But it's my generation that we need to start investing into those employees because they're doing it day in and day out. They understand the product. They understand what it takes to make the dough run. They might not understand the science. They might not understand the business tactics, but they understand how to feel the dough and what it needs to run. And we are going to them, the managers are going to them to understand what needs to be done on the floor. We can sit in meetings and strategize and talk numbers all day long, but we will always rely on the floor employees to tell us exactly what is going on. So I just want to sit here. It's easy to be Monday morning quarterback, but I just want to hopefully encourage you guys that this week going into summer, going into Memorial Day weekend, now is the time to start valuing those employees and start to show them that they do have potential, that they are, that next step. They will start filling in the gap when the upper management is starting to retire. This is going to be a busy season. Schools are open, everybody's going back, everybody's growing out. After the last 2 years, I expect this bun season to be, maybe record breaking in some companies. And so really, really value your employees so that they don't get burnout and so that they don't absolutely just don't like their job because we don't want that because they are the talent. Next step is employee engagement. And so that's a little different about like where, showing them in value and where the talent is, but the employee engagement is to bring them into the meetings, not just, pat them on the back and say thank you is kind of like what that last point was. But this one is engaging them, bringing them into the meetings, bringing them behind the door, showing them behind the curtain. The trusted value ones already, maybe those are going to be the line leads or, the people who have been there for, 10 plus years, who understand, the floor, and they can really give some good insight to your value stream processing or, just your strategy and tactic meetings. They might be able to really give you some good pointers of where to direct your company. Not your board meetings, that's probably not the place for them, but your supervising meetings, your middle management meetings, that might be a really good place for them. And so it's kind of an obscure Wisdom Wednesday, but I really believe that this is going to be really poignant for the next probably 5 to 10 years to really starting to harness the talent that is in your bakery already. Your people are your best asset, and so I really hope that you can start to pull from that. You can start to understand who they are, how they function, and provide trainings for them. Provide not just baking and company training, but provide them personal training, like provide training to help them understand their personality, provide training to help them understand personal finances, provide training to, just normal human decency things, because a lot of them get stuck in these manufacturing warehouses, and many of them get stuck in these manufacturing plants, and we still need to deliver to them a life worth living, because we know that these plants are hard. We know that they are long hours and hot hours, but we need to show them that they still have dignity, and we truly do appreciate them, whether they speak English, whether they have everything in common with us or not. We need to show them that, man, we appreciate them, and not just a company grill out. That's nice once a year, twice a year, however often. But really setting aside some capital to really invest in your employees will go 1,000,001 miles. So sitting here just kind of ranting, but that was on my heart. So I just wanted to just share that. I really hope that the baking industry can move forward in that regard. I hope that you guys use Bakerpedia for that. We are also a technical company. We provide technical resources, but we also provide the trainings and the relationship with baking companies to bring them to the next mile marker. And so allow us to help you in any way possible, whether that be consulting or training, or just being a listening ear. I believe that our team here at Bakerpedia have enough experience to really hit on all sides, both the business side of things, but also the floor employees side and the equipment needed and the science, of course. So a little different. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Well, that's it for Wisdom Wednesday today. Please join us on LinkedIn, the Baking Industry Professionals Group, and that is also on Facebook. Baker Academy is live with Baker certified courses, so please check that out. And until next time, happy baking.